Woman gets the perfect revenge from a local diner after they deny her a job interview for being pregnant. But before we start, please give the video a like and make sure to subscribe to Wonderbot and hit the bell so you'll never miss any uploads from us. After sending in her resume, Lindsey was eagerly waiting for a response. At last, Lindsey got the news she was waiting to hear. She got a callback and an interview was scheduled for her. The mother-to-be was delighted to get this chance. However, keeping in mind her experiences so far, she decided it would be better if she was fully honest with her employer. Lindsey decided to tell the employer about her pregnancy, thinking it's better to keep things clear from the very beginning. She responded to the message that she can come for the interview, followed by the fact that she's pregnant and in need of a job. She also stated that it's been difficult to find a job, but she's willing to put in as much work as any other employee. After the disclosure of her pregnancy, Lindsey was confident that her employer will appreciate her honesty. To Lindsey's surprise, it had quite an opposite effect. The employer responded with a message saying she did not need to come down for the interview as the diner was not going to be going ahead with the hiring process. The news devastated Lindsey. She realized they saw her pregnancy to be a hindrance to their workplace. The diner did not provide any explanation to Lindsey about why they canceled her interview. She was certain it was because, just like every other employer, they did not want to hire a pregnant woman. But what baffled her even more was the fact that they did not let her interview. They refused to meet her straight away. She was regretful of her decision to inform them about the pregnancy. Lindsey took a screenshot of the text exchange between her and the employer of the diner and sent it to Felix. Just like Lindsey, Felix was genuinely upset that the diner was so quick to turn away a potential employee just because she's pregnant. He knew Lindsey was an ideal candidate for the job. Felix was not going to sit around and let them get away with this. Felix decided to post the screenshot sent by Lindsey on his Facebook. The caption reads, "Let me just say this is wrong and I'm pretty sure illegal, and they won't get another dollar from me." Felix hoped that it would catch the attention of some locals and they'd take note of how a family-run establishment could perform such prominent discrimination against a pregnant woman. Just like Felix had hoped, pretty soon other users began to take notice of the post. His post did not remain within his circle. Within hours, hundreds of users had shared that post on their feeds. People were outraged by what happened to Lindsey and were talking about it everywhere on social media. With the outrage on social media, Lindsey's story managed to catch the attention of the news networks as well. Fox 13, a local news network, covered her story and uploaded a video that ended up getting more than 2,000 views. It wasn't just the news channels. Her story was covered by parenting websites as well. Lindsey's story became a viral sensation within days. Felix's post received over 650 shares, more than 200 reactions, and close to 200 comments. Most of them were from strangers. Those who were part of the discussion about the photo were equally outraged by the actions of the diner. They believed their practice was exclusively illegal. The diner had to face a tremendous deal of repercussions because of their actions towards Lindsey. With the growing backlash towards Reescliffe Family Diner on different forms of media, the diner could not ignore it any further and finally sent a response. They posted an explanation on the official Facebook page of the diner with the hope that it would clear their name. Unfortunately, they made another critical mistake. To prove that Lindsey was unqualified for the job, they posted her resume, which contained all her details, on Facebook. The response that the diner posted was a failed attempt at fixing things. Instead of helping their case, it made everyone even angrier. This was a serious violation of Lindsey's privacy. For the followers of the diner's Facebook page, this post was an obvious failure. Many of the users who might have been inclined towards the diner were now totally against him. Instead of gaining support from people, the diner ended up digging a hole for itself. People began to suggest Lindsey should take legal action because she had a strong case against Reescliffe Family Diner on the grounds of discrimination and invasion of privacy. By posting her resume online, they had shared her personal information, like her address, the school she went to, the places she worked at, etc. Lindsey and Felix decided to look into the situation further. They found out that the employer went against the rules set by the diner by denying a pregnant woman a chance to work there. In Lindsey's case, she was denied to even appear for an interview. If an employer denies a job to a person because of any personal reasons, it's recognized as discrimination. Employment attorney Raul Valles validated that there are laws implemented by the state and federal government which address how an employer cannot dismiss a potential employee on the grounds of their pregnancy. Employers should make their decision to hire a candidate by considering their previous work experience and their ability to do the job they're interviewing for. According to federal law, employers should ignore the fact that a woman is expecting and allow her to interview. Even with a baby on the way, this should not be a factor for any employer to discourage participation. Distinguishing in such manner can do more harm than good for the employers, because the potential employee has the right to sue the company on the account of potential wage loss and emotional damage. After looking into this matter and attaining the rightful information, Lindsey and Felix were both certain that they had a strong case against the diner. The actions of the diner employer had made them deeply upset. They started contemplating suing him as well as the diner. Many people encouraged Lindsey to go forward with this decision. They had a compelling case and everyone was aware of it. Despite all the chaos which surrounded Lindsey and Felix's life, they got one news that brought an abundance of joy into their otherwise disturbed life. An ultrasound revealed that Lindsey was carrying a baby girl. Lindsey and Felix had yet to decide whether they want to sue the diner or not. Lindsey had many supporters in the community who rallied behind her for everything she had to endure because of the actions of the diner employee. However, there were a few who questioned her reasons for going against the Reescliffe family diner. Over the years, Reescliffe family diner had become a popular spot for many people. As a result, the fans of the diner doubted if Lindsey's reasons were genuine. They believed it's possible she was not being discriminated due to her pregnancy. In fact, she was rejected because she would not make a good employee. Well, some believed that she was doing this for attention. All these allegations from the supporters of the diner made Lindsey upset. She was certain she was being discriminated against because she was pregnant. Lindsey knew she would make an excellent employee, and just because she's expecting a baby does not mean she's any less capable than any employee who's working at the diner. While Felix's post continued to get response and support on social media, the locals decided to go a step further and boycott the diner. People announced that they would no longer eat at the diner until problems were resolved. They didn't want to be associated with a place that discriminated among its employees. More and more people began to boycott the diner and posted about the incident on social media. This resulted in the owner reaching out to Lindsey and settling this matter. According to the owner, it wasn't him who responded to Lindsey's social media. It was another employee who did it without any official authorization. He explained it was a simple misunderstanding and would be dealt with. The owner assured that an incident like this would not have happened on his terms, and he did not want the reputation of his diner to be tarnished by the actions of one employee. He promised that the employee would be trained in communication and educated properly about the laws and policies that the diner upholds. Over the past decades, Reescliffe Family Diner had grown to become a staple in the community. The owner mentioned that he'd been in business for over 16 years now and has always followed proper legal procedures. He pointed out that they've never had a similar problem before and would make sure it never occurs again with anyone. The owner gave his sincerest apology to Lindsey, made sure she knew how sorry he was for everything she had to go through, and told her he's completely on Lindsey's side and assured her that they do not abide by any such rules which makes them discriminate against anyone for any reason whatsoever. The owner was regretful about everything that had happened with Lindsey. To make up for it, he offered Lindsey a second chance to come and interview at the diner and have an experience that she'd missed out on previously. He said that the decision of hiring her would be made individually upon her experience and her performance in the interview. Lindsey appreciated the owner trying to make amends with her, but she decided to decline his offer for another interview. She didn't want any association with the diner that treated her poorly and just wanted to put the whole incident behind her. With her due date approaching, she just wanted to focus on finding another job. With Lindsey's story being featured news on so many platforms, some media agencies ended up posting false reports and stories about Lindsey on their pages. The post featured in the image here is a news article published by ZA Daily News, who claim Lindsey identifies herself as a South African woman and ended up becoming a millionaire when she sued the diner. However, these false reports were shot down by other agencies and Lindsey's name was cleared. After the chaos their life had been over the past few weeks, it was time for Lindsey and Felix to move on, and look forward to the next exciting chapter in their life. They were done with the interviews and the press releases. The couple couldn't be happier about the baby who was on her way. They used social media to document their journey and loved sharing it with their loved ones. Lindsey and Felix welcomed their baby daughter into this world on the 5th of October 2018. They named her Trinity. Lindsey posted this picture when she turned 3 months old back in January 2019. What happened with Lindsey was unfair and should not have occurred, especially at such a special time in her life. But she grew from that experience and now is a mother of a healthy baby girl. Lindsey found another job as a clerk at a retail store and had not felt the stress of not being able to support her daughter ever since. Unfortunately, Lindsey is not the only one who's faced discrimination due to pregnancy. So many women battle against pregnancy discrimination at their place of work. Thousands of women around the country, as well as her home state Florida, have complained about facing this issue and reported similar incidents. Due to the volume of endless complaints on this matter, in the year 2015, the Florida legislature decided to take action to help in ending such discrimination. They altered the Florida Human Rights Act by adding pregnant women to the list of groups who should be protected from employment discrimination. The state of Florida legally protects pregnant women. However, many of them are still not aware of the same. Lawyers and experts emphasize on how significant it is for women like Lindsey to be aware of their rights and fight for what they deserve. Working while pregnant is challenging as it is, but to be treated with discrimination on top of that makes life unbearable. The Pregnancy Discrimination Act was introduced back in 1978 to eliminate pregnancy-based discrimination. The PDA prohibits discrimination based on current pregnancy, past pregnancy, potential or intended pregnancy, or medical conditions related to pregnancy or childbirth. Although the act has been around for more than 40 years now, women still have to battle against pregnancy discrimination. Apart from the Reescliffe Family Diner, many other establishments have been criticized by the media for discriminating against their pregnant employees. In 2017, the retail department store Walmart came under the attention of the media networks after an employee named Whitney Tomlinson came forward with her story. When Whitney's superiors found out that she was pregnant, they insisted she go on unpaid leave until after the birth of her child. Whitney was a loyal employee at Walmart, so the way they treated her hurt her. She already had children at home, which is why she needed her paychecks more than ever now that she was pregnant with another baby. She spoke to her doctor about what had happened at work. The doctor informed her that what her superiors were doing was illegal and she should not agree to it. Whitney discovered an organization called A Better Balance that advocates for women facing discrimination. The organization guided Whitney on the legal course of action she could take against the company. A Better Balance informed Whitney that she has no less than 5 lawsuits for pregnancy discrimination against Walmart. People have reported that Whitney was not the only employee of Walmart to face such discrimination. There have been multiple cases similar to hers. Pregnancy discrimination lawsuits in the U.S. have grown by almost 50% in the last 15 years. And this pregnancy is only for those cases that women manage to be vocal about. It doesn't account for the numerous amount of cases who are discriminated against for being pregnant but never speak up or file a complaint. Tanya Zarek worked for Netflix since mid-2018 until her boss fired her in December 2018. According to Tanya, once she disclosed her pregnancy to her boss, he reduced her role, excluded her from meetings, and mocked her appearance. When she raised a complaint with HR, they informed her to go back to her boss and discuss it with him. Tanya requested her boss for a transfer. She wanted to switch departments. This request was denied by her boss, and instead, he fired her from the organization. Netflix gave a statement claiming that they looked into the termination and it was not due to illegal causes and re-emphasized Netflix's commitment to their employees and their families. Many working women complain about the issues they encounter at their work once it's disclosed they're pregnant. This includes actresses as well. Gal Gadot, the actress who was the lead in Wonder Woman, was pregnant during the filming of some scenes of her movie. When the actress discovered that she was pregnant, she admitted her hesitation in sharing this news with her co-workers. She was worried she may get judged by people and kept this news a secret for a long time. Finding a job is a time-consuming procedure. Looking for the perfect job can be difficult for anyone, regardless of their age, sex, gender, etc. So to top that, a woman has to face discrimination during that process because she chose to have a baby, which is absurd. Women should not be discriminated against on the decision of having children or planning to have one. Somehow our society still consists of those people who defend sex and gender-based discrimination, but that should not discourage anyone to step forward and be vocal about what's wrong. The ever-increasing percentage of cases about discrimination in the workplace only confirms that we still have a long way to go. Women like Lindsey, Whitney, Tanya are the ones who spoke up and stood for their rights. Should be an example to everyone, especially those who are afraid to come forward. Don't be silenced.